Hello, this is my last for the other one, and I'm up to the letter L. L is for last, and L for leather. Or today, L is for London. Why not, since it's London I'm leaving? Well, let's tell you a few things about London. The Houses of Parliament has 8 bars within it, where prices are kept low by taxpayers' money. They're subsidised bars. The building is located right by the river, so it can't be surrounded on all sides by an angry mob, presumably just in case word gets out about the cheap beer. It's also against the law to die in the Houses of Parliament. The reason behind this is that the Houses of Parliament are also known as the Palace of Westminster as a royal palace, and anyone who dies there is supposedly entitled to a state funeral. Anyone who dies inside is carried out and declared dead outside. MPs are, by the way, replacing the Speaker in the House of Commons. No doubt they'll be changing the rest of their electrical equipment before the end of the financial year. One of Christopher Wren's original ideas for St Paul's Cathedral proposed a 60-foot stone pineapple in place of the now iconic dome on top of St Paul's. It's a shame it didn't happen. It would have given London's skyline a much needed tropical feel. Slightly more people use the London Underground every year than the population of India. No wonder it's hard to get a seat. The Great Fire that destroyed most of the City of London in 1666 was only responsible for 6 recorded deaths. Monument, the 203-foot stone obelisk located 203 feet away from where the fire broke out, commemorates those who died. However, the monument has claimed the lives of 7 people who have fallen from the viewing platform at the top, accidentally or otherwise. I've got a friend whose bakery burned down in the Great Fire. His business is now toast. The first traffic light system in the world was installed on Parliament Square in 1868. A year later, it blew up, killing a policeman that it had been designed to replace. Cleopatra's Needle, the Egyptian artefact built in the year 1450 BC, located on the Victoria Embankment, is also a time capsule. When it was erected in London in 1838, underneath was placed, amongst other things, a map of London, a copy of the Bible, some daily newspapers, a rupee, and 12 photographs of the best-looking women of the time. Interestingly, Cleopatra once told her attendant that I'd like to take a milk bath, and the attendant asked, "Pasteurised?" And Cleopatra replied, "No, just up to my neck." The statue of George Washington in Trafalgar Square sits on imported soil from the USA because George Washington had claimed he would never again step foot on English soil. The last prisoner of both the Tower of London in England and Spandau Prison in Germany was the same man, Rudolf Hess. A Texan was taking a taxi tour of London and was in a hurry. As they went by the Tower of London, the cabbie explained what it was and that construction started in 1346 and it was completed in 1412. The Texan replied, "Shoot, a little old tower like that? In Houston we'd have that thing up in 2 weeks." Houses of Parliament next started construction in 1544, completed 1618. "Hell boy, we put up a bigger one than that in Dallas and it only took a year." As they passed Westminster Abbey, the cabbie was silent. "Whoa, what's that over there?" inquired the Texan. To which the cabbie replied, "Damned if I know, weren't there yesterday." There is one road in London where you have to drive on the right. Unlike the rest of the UK, Savoy Court, the entrance road to the Savoy Hotel just off the Strand, requires drivers to drive on the right-hand side of the road. The reasons for this are disputed. Some say it was for taxis to drop off guests at the Savoy Theatre, which is on the right-hand side of the road, before picking up fares from the hotel at the end of the road, which seems a likely explanation. The roundabout at the end of the road is also a tiny one, meaning only cars with a turning circle of 25 feet or under can use it, now the required turning circle for any London taxis. London was once the capital city of 6 countries at the same time. Over 70 years ago, in the midst of World War II, London was one of the few safe cities left in Europe for those who opposed the Nazi regime. It soon became a safe haven for displaced governments of the countries that Hitler had invaded, first with Poland's government in exile taking up residence, followed by those of Norway, Belgium, Holland and France. Now interestingly, France has an MP in London. In 2012, Axel Lemaire was elected to the French Parliament as one of the country's 11 overseas seats. Referred to by some as Paris-on-Thames, London is now France's 6th largest city by number of French people living there, with over 200,000 living in the capital and over 400,000 in the UK. And although Miss Le Maire is technically the MP for the constituency of Northern Europe, with the vast majority of her voters living in Britain and over half of those in the capital, many consider her to be France's MP for London. A London city dealer parks his brand new Porsche in front of the office to show it off to his colleagues. As he's getting out of the car, a lorry comes speeding along too close to the curb and takes off the door before zooming off. More than a little distraught, the Londoner grabs his mobile and calls the police. 5 minutes later, the police arrive. Before the policeman has a chance to ask any questions, the man starts screaming hysterically, "My Porsche, my Porsche, my beautiful silver Porsche is ruined! No matter how long at the panel beaters, it'll never be the same again!" After the man finally finishes, the policeman shakes his head in disgust. "I can't believe how materialistic you bankers are. You lot are so focused on your possessions that you don't notice anything else in your life." "How can you say such a thing at a time like this?" snaps the Porsche owner. "Well, didn't you realise that your right arm was torn off when the truck hit you?" The banker looks down in absolute horror. "Ah, where's me Rolex?" Author Douglas Adams once said, "Driving a Porsche in London is like bringing a Ming vase to a football game." And I'll leave you with this quote from Samuel Johnson. "You find no man at all intellectual who is willing to leave London. No, sir. When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. For there is in London all that life can afford." It's just a shame you can't afford much in London. This is me, Paul Harrison, signing off. Goodbye, au revoir, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, goodbye!